What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Ordinary E, another video. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your subscribers and the support. Love your comments. Today we've got a special announcement. I know it's been a while for a video, but I've been super busy. Work's been kicking me in the arse. But yeah, we're back again. But before I give you a special announcement, I want to give a shout out to Blade Plays Z. He wanted me to give him a shout out. He hit me up on Instagram. So there you go, Blade. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll try and put a link to it in the description below, but I did go and check it and I think it's no longer there. So whatever you're doing, Blades, appreciate your support, and there's your shout out. And then a special shout out to Onyx, another subscriber and another YouTuber, who hit me up and said, can they fix this PC? Remember this PC in the fix and no fix? Well, after I'd fixed it, I called him up and said, well, your computer's all fixed, come and pick it up. And he says, I don't want it back. So there you go, I am giving it away. This is the PC. I know it's not going to fit in the camera because it's super massive, but yeah, it's from the fix and no fix video. And shout out to Onyx. If you, again, I'll put a link to the description below. And yeah, all you got to do to win this is subscribe and tell me where you're from. That's literally it. I'll get in touch with you and probably get in contact with you somehow. It won't be a WhatsApp. Don't fall. I don't want any money. Never want any money. So don't fall for any tricks about, you know, taking any that I want any money. But I do not want any money, guys. So I will never ask you. It will probably be on Instagram. Just subscribe and tell me where you're from. And that's literally it. Now the other thing is, do you want it as a complete PC? Or I was thinking, in tune with my channel, I'll give it to you in parts. So I can take it apart and then you can go ahead and build it yourself. So that could be a fun little thing for you. But if you're not comfortable with that, then of course I will put it together. But the thing this PC needs is a good clean. So before I was going to give it back to Onyx, I was going to clean it anyway, but obviously he didn't want it back, so I took my time. And I'll just show you what I mean about the clean. If I just go and put a Q-tip in here, there you go, you can see the dirt. So I'm going to take it apart, I'm going to new thermal paste everything, we're going to check out the parts inside, we're going to give the case and everything else a very good deep clean, and yeah, that's it. Less talky on this video and more doey. We may just stop halfway through just to go over the parts and see what's inside and what you're getting. I do know, you do know from the last video, there's 2 graphics cards. It's a Pentium processor, I believe. And yeah, I put in a new hard drive. So let's get to cleaning. Guys, I've taken it apart. It's absolutely filthy in here. I can't take the battery out. I don't know how that's meant to come off. I can't see how it comes off. If anyone knows, let me know before this gives away, and then I'll try and clean it. And I also can't get this thing out, and it's got a fan behind there, but I can't get it out, and I can't get the front off. So that's it. So that's it for the case. It's empty. I know you shouldn't do this, but I am gonna hoover this because I'm inside my flat. So I'm gonna hoover this. It does create static, but I'm not hoovering any electronics. I'm just hoovering the case that's empty, and then I'll touch it a few times and ground it. All right. But the other stuff, oh man, as you can see, that is cake that you do not want to eat. So we're going to clean all that up, and again I can hoover that because that's not electronic, and I'll ground myself with something I have there. And you saw me take a load of pictures because I have no idea how any of that's going to go back together hopefully we can get it back together and get it up and working. And then as you can see, there's a processor in here, and the thermal paste is still sticky, so that was doing okay. It wasn't crusty or anything. For a computer that's what, 1 million years old or something like that. Yeah, so we're going to clean up everything. Not too bad. The motherboard, obviously it's protected with all the stuff, and yeah, there's a bit down here on the I/O stuff, but we'll clean all up, and I'll try and get into every nook and cranny. I will try again to take this off, probably off camera, because I don't know how it's held on, but I'll try and figure that out and get this all cleaned up. So, and then we'll go over the parts. So, be back in a sec. Alright guys, I've cleaned that case inside. Jesus, it took a while. It's not perfect, but I did everything I can with isopropyl, whatever it's called. Isopropanol alcohol, right? And I used a toothbrush, and I've got these anti-static brushes as well. And I also found a part which I have no idea where that came from. And so that's great. So I think the case is done. I still can't get this off, or the power supply. Maybe I'll do that again, as I said, off camera. Let's tackle the parts. Alright guys, so we have managed to clean up nearly all of the parts, all of the fans, everything has been taken apart. I just haven't done this graphics card yet, because I was doing this graphics card. You can take a look here at that graphics card now. The die is all nice clean, balls all nice clean. This is the last part I was doing, and I broke a piece off of it. So it's a little chip. I've looked it up and I think it's a noise cancelling chip of some sort. I will try and solder it back on, but that's why I haven't done that graphics card yet, because I want to keep it for reference, so I know which way this goes and stuff, and hopefully I don't break that one. But hopefully that'll be okay to fix. Yeah, I mean, there were 2,800 graphics card. There's two of them. Don't know too much about them. They're from Nvidia. What else did we find? So we've got a pretty nice looking sound card there. Now I don't have a sound card, so I might steal this. I won't steal the graphics cards. They will go back in. I don't have one of these, and also I don't know if I have one of these in my rig, which reads all sorts of cards. Do I need it? I don't know. Probably not. I might just keep that. I was thinking of taking this as well, but actually I might just put it all back in. Yeah, I don't know what I got myself into here, but I've taken apart my first ever graphics card, broke it obviously, and now I have to put it all back together. The hardest thing in cleaning all of this was the fans. So I mean, these are the hardest things, and they've got these little rubber things on them, which are super tough to get off. But yeah, these are annoying. But we managed to do that as well. And then they're super hard to get back in as well. So these are done, and that's probably the wrong one. Now I've got a pain to get that out. Oh, that one came out. They'll probably come out easier now. And there was also these plastic things on another fan. So yeah, there we are guys. So I'm going to put it all back together. Everything's clean, everything's drying. The motherboard. So here's the motherboard, and again I have cleaned up the CPU, cleaned up the boards, aired it all out, all the dust is gone. And we're going to put new thermal paste, current thermal paste, because it hopefully performs better than what was put in here 2 million years ago. And yeah, so everything's cleaner. It's not a perfect job, but I did the best I could. And it's just a matter of putting it back together now, so let's start doing it. Oh yeah, and I just thought I'd show you that I noticed, you see these capacitors here? They're getting some bulging and they've got a bit of brown on them. So doesn't look like this board's got long left. I wish I could change those, but we all know about my soldering skills, and I've got a bit of a job on my hands trying to fix this one. I don't know how detrimental this chip is. I looked it up and it seems to be some sort of noise cancelling chip, so maybe, but I'll try and solder it back on. It's big enough for me to try, but these capacitors with those little legs, yeah, and I don't have replacement capacitors, but these don't look good, like in good shape. You can see that they're browning on top. But yeah, whoever gets this, I advise you to change this, or get someone who can, and possibly keep this board going. Apart from me breaking that, not knowing where this piece came from, and I did find another plastic piece that was inside the case. I don't know what that's from, but yeah, there we are guys. So everything is clean, all the cables, all the fans, all the components, all the heat sinks. Yeah, we just got to put it all back together. The other plastic parts are drying because I soaked them in the water. Water takes longer to dry rather than the alcohol. And yeah, I'm just going to put things back together piece by piece, see if I can put this back on, and get this computer back. Let's go. Alright guys, finally we are finished. It's taken me all day to take things apart, clean them up. They're all sparkling. It's like they came out of a nice brand new out of the shop. We did put thermal paste. I used the MX4 on the Nvidia cards at the moment. I haven't done the CPU on the motherboard, and I used the MX4. After loads of research, it seems to be the best one. However, I understand we now have an MX6, so I went and bought one of those. They're not sponsored, but do love this stuff. Seems to do the job. All the cables are cleaned as best as I can. I managed to solder back on the chip. I don't know if you can see that properly, but yeah, that's back on. Hopefully that's gonna still work. The chip did get very hot, but oh well. This card, no problems. Managed to clean it, put it back together without an issue. Forgot to plug the fan in. Let's do that. I think we're ready to put the machine back together. However, I do want to test. I do want to test this chip here, which I have marked as a 775. I believe this board is a 775 board, and that socket is a 775. I tested it in the previous computer that we gave away, and it didn't work. So to call it dead, I'm going to test it in this one, just because possibly, and I've been learning about chipsets, possibly this chipset would work with it and the other chipset and the other board was not quite correct. We did find a broken piece of plastic inside the case. I didn't do it, I swear Gov. However, I did break this little piece of plastic, which is for the battery, when I was just took that out to clean that, but it's still sturdy, it doesn't need this piece of plastic. So we're good there, and I still don't know where that goes, but I'm hoping once we start putting stuff together and come from the case, it looks like part of the case is plastic. There's that. We found this floppy drive. It's not floppy, but I suppose if you do that, it's floppy. But yeah, we found this disc, and don't know what's on that. Probably won't read it actually. It's private. And I was going to say I didn't check if anything's in the DVD, so we'll try that. We know nothing's in there now, and there's no cards in that one. And I'm going to leave it all together. I said I was going to take the card readers and maybe the sound card, but I think maybe not. I've come across these before. I probably have others in my storage there. And yeah, so there we go. We got two Nvidia graphics cards. They didn't tell me what they were. We got an SLI ready board. We have CPU. When we tested it before, it only looked like it had one core, or one core, two threads, or two threads, one core, or two cores, one thread. I don't know what it was. But we do know this one has two cores, two threads, so that would be an upgrade if we can get that working. We know that these capacitors are ready to pop. So whoever gets this, I advise you take it somewhere and get these changed. There's only 1, 2, 3, possibly. Or if you're going to be upgrading, at least you get a case, you can change the board, you can change the CPU, you can change the graphics card. Like, you can just, this is where you start from. We've got 2 fans that were at the back, I believe, 1 fan that was at the front. We found the original hard drive, which is 250 gigs, and my one was that I was given is about 500. Yeah, 500 gigs. I don't know if this has Windows on it, and it was probably configured to this, so we'll connect this back up and see if this one works. And so it's OEM, and then I can keep my drive because it was just hanging in there loose. And yeah, let's put this back in the case. The case is clean, is ready to go as best as I could, and I couldn't get the battery out, and that other plasticky bit with a fan behind that, which would really, let's try and do that actually. Let's go. Guys, I managed to get it out, and this is where all the fun was happening. Boy, it was caked. I just quickly done a hoover, but I thought I'd show you, and yeah, that's where all the fun was. Alright guys, so I have connected all the cables, but I have one left over, so I don't know where that goes. I've connected it all onto one side. Now it needs all to be connected onto the motherboard, and it's a good thing I took videos because I would not have remembered where that went. So, but the thing is, I can see this cable and it's going this way, but there's nothing to connect it to, so don't think I need it. Where did you come from? Don't know. Alright, let's carry on. I think I'll put the motherboard in now, and we can start connecting this back up. Alright, now we are ready. I'm not going to put the cooler on yet. I want to test it just to make sure I've hooked everything up and it still works. And then I want to change the CPU for the other one, which is a better CPU. If it works, then I'll leave it in here. And yeah, let's get this powered up. Alright guys, she is back up and running. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, I just can't find the drive, so we'll sort that out. And there you go. So if you want this PC, everything seems to be okay at the minute. I take no responsibility for anything failing later. Alright, but if you want this, all you got to do is subscribe, tell me where you're from, and as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll give it away. Or come maybe a month or 2, and if I don't get 1,000 subscribers, then I'm just going to give it away. And it's all at my discretion. Sorry guys, but all you got to do, subscribe, tell me where you're from. Alright, I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Wow, this was a killer. Oh, and I tried this chip in this board, and again it doesn't work, so I think this chip is dead, unfortunately. So yeah.